Okay, so we're going to look at creating a simple text alpha to add to Substance Painter to create a printed onto straight to the bottle sort of label. And as you can see, I'm using Microsoft Paint because it's easy enough to use. Um, isn't really going to create too many issues. So I'm just going to add in some text to start off with. And as you can see, when you put text in, you get all the text tools. You've got all your fonts, you've got bold, you've got your font size, you've got your color, fairly straightforward. Now I'm just going to use a made up color name and put that in there. Now I've set default shape to being a square, and I'm positioning my alpha in the middle of my square so that when I use it in Substance, it's going to come out exactly as we want it. Now I've just picked a random font for this, but you can go through. It gives you an idea of what the fonts look like that you can choose to use. So it's Paint. It's not rocket science at the end of the day. If we go back into Home, we can go Select and Select All, or we could, if it was going to let me go off a text. So I can select all. So now I've got the dotted line going around the outside of this. Right click and invert color. So black is a hidden color in an alpha mask. It hides the color and is transparent. White is fully opaque, so that is what will show through. So now we can do a quick save. And as you can see, I've been playing around with this before. So I'm going to save that as something I will recognize. And I'm just going to save that straight into that folder. And that's us done with Paint. So now we can head on over into Painter. And we are going to want to import an asset. So we can click this little plus down at the bottom, press Add Resources, and then we just need to find where our asset is saved, which for me is definitely not in this location. It's in here. And there it is. I've given it a nice sensible name. We want to set it as an alpha on this bit here. And then we want to choose where we import the resource to. So I'm going to import it into this project. If I know I'm just going to use it once, I can import it to the current session. But that will not keep it if I go back in and re-edit. Or if I want it available for everything I do, I can add it to my library. I just want it for this, so I'm going to import it to this project. Click Import. Next bit that we want to do is we want to add a layer. And in this layer, we are going to want to paint the color that we want our text to be. So I'm going to go for, I don't even know what color this is. I'm going for this purpley pinky color. And I'm just going to literally paint this layer in this purpley pink color whilst attempting to not go outside of it. Otherwise I have to erase stuff and mask more stuff than I want to do. But what I am going to do is just make sure it covers the part of the bottle where I want the text to show up. Right, having done that, I'm now going to go onto the paint layer that I've added, and we want to right click and add a black mask to this layer. Now that we've added the black mask, we can't actually see any of that purple color that we've just put in. We need to select our mask that we've put in, and we don't worry too much about what it looks like on this bit, but we do have our scaling at the top here, and we can see roughly what size it's going to come out as when we roll over our target, which in this case is this bottle. And I'm going to click, and you can see that as soon as I've just done that one click, that has placed that text around the bottle, and you can see the relative size of it over on this view. And that's pretty much it for making printed text on a bottle. And if I click on this render button now, fortunately I have rendered this before, so it's not taking too long to get to a decent render. But now you can see the text is definitely on the bottle. You've got the water droplets going over the text, and we have a printed label.